Welcome to CRE Fast FIve, where we detail hot topics in commercial real estate in 5 minutes or less. I'm Carly Iacono, and today we'll be talking about lease provisions that impact the resale value of investment properties. We're going to cover 6 different factors today. We're going to start pretty basic and then move to more detailed, so stick with me for the full 5 minutes. The first is the term. So how long your base term is and what your option structure looks like is very important. Whether that be 25 years remaining, 5 years, 15, whatever it is, typically the longer term, the higher the value. Your option structure is also important. For example, Walgreens has a lease form that is 50 one-year options. They have another form that is 10 5-year options. So the 10 5-year option structure is obviously more desirable than 50 one-year options. So pay attention to not only the full term of your base and options, but what the structure looks like as well. The second is rent bumps. So income growth, of course, is always preferred as an investor because it will drive the price of the investment up, all other factors considered. But the rent bumps being tied to CPI or fair market value don't hold as much weight as a fixed rent structure. So you want to push for the highest rent increases you can, whether that be 10% every 5, 7.5% every 5, 2% annually. Those are all common structures. But you don't want things, if you can help it, that are tied to CPI or fair market value. The third is landlord responsibilities. Now, if you're a developer building a brand new project, having roof and structural responsibility is obviously not going to impact you because the construction is new. However, if you're an investor looking at a 10 to 15 year hold period, roof and structural responsibilities could be an issue for you, and it will certainly impact resale value. So you want to push as much of the responsibility onto the tenant as you possibly can. Make that lease form absolute net, make it as clean as you can, and then you'll get often up to a 50 basis point spread between something that's double net and absolute net. So the real dollars on the bottom line are material based on that type of lease structure. The fourth is the guarantor. So again, for those of you who are professional clients, this is obvious. Wendy's may not be a Wendy's corporate guarantee just because Wendy's is your tenant, could be a small franchisee. So for our new investors, don't just look at who your tenant is, look at who's behind the lease. And again, corporate guarantees are preferred, followed by franchisee, followed by personal. You want the strongest name on the lease conceivably possible. The fifth is assignment. Now, this is not usually an issue on the front end, but it does come up during due diligence on deals quite a bit. You want your deal to be not assignable, if at all possible, but that's very difficult. So if it is assignable, then you want the assignment language to be as rigorous as possible. If you're going from franchisee to franchisee, you want to try to put in some limitations, whether that be 25 units or $5 million net worth. As strong as you can make it will give you the best long-term security in the deal and minimize problems during due diligence. The sixth and final thing for our discussion today is indemnification language. Now, I am not an attorney, I cannot give you legal advice, but these are things that we see all the time. Now, this is relevant on all deals, but especially important if you're building something in the gas convenience space, because indemnification against environmental issues gives investors a lot of security over the long term. So again, a new build, it's not an issue. 15, 20 years down the road, it could be. So you want your indemnification language to be as tight as possible, and you want ideally the tenant to have full indemnification against any environmental issues long term. So there you have it, the term, the base plus the options, the rent bumps, the guarantor, landlord responsibilities, assignment, and indemnification. This is just one piece of the full puzzle, but leases are very important, so make them as clean as possible, and you will get the maximum dollar for your investment on resale. That was CRE Fast FIve. I'm Carly Iacono. Join us again soon.